Welcome everyone to a Hero Arts video. Today I'm making a porthole card. I'm going to start with the plain white note card and I'm going to stamp it with a couple snowflakes using soft sand ink. I just put my snowflakes onto the acrylic block and I'm just applying the ink. And I'm going to stamp them randomly onto the left side of the card because I'm going to end up putting a strip of paper on the right side. So I kind of twist it around and get another angle going on so my snowflakes don't look too uniform. When I'm done stamping my card, I'm going to run it through my Cuttlebug with the raindrop type background, the kind of polka dot background, just to give it a little more texture. So there's my stamped images. So now I've run it through my Cuttlebug and I'm just going to trim off the side here. And I like to trim it so that I can have my porthole sitting in from the edge. And I'm just going to line up my other paper I'm going to add to it. I want to be able to have a line of adhesive, so I'm just going to kind of back off to make sure I have enough room to put some adhesive down. So here's my card once I've cut the strip. And there's the other strip of paper I'm going to add to it. So now my porthole can sit in from the edge a bit, and I'm just using a 2 3/4 inch large punch. And I'm just going to go, just eyeball it to where I think I want it. Just go ahead and give it a good press, and there's your hole. So it'll sit in like this. So now I need to cut my strip of paper. So what I have is one of the hole punches, or the circles that I've punched from another piece of paper. And I just go ahead and trace around. And this tells me where I need to punch for the second piece of paper. Just kind of using a template. So now I have a pencil line. I can go ahead and use my punch. Okay, I'm just going to add adhesive just to the edge, and I'm going to set it on top of my card. Just kind of line it up. Make sure it's lined up and trim the edges. Okay, so now I have it put together. Here's what the front will look like. I've cut out these two circles from my silhouette. And here's about the size they are. The circle's actually 3 inches on the outside, and it's about between 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch width. Okay, so what I've done is put two snowflakes together on a beading thread, and I like the beading thread because it's soft and pliable. So what I need to do now is to go ahead and punch some holes just in the top and the bottom of my circle. And just use my pokey tool, and I have a little foam piece. I tell you about this in I think every video, but I get these little pieces of foam from like purse inserts or like phone cases that you can buy, and they're just so handy to keep around just for this, for punching holes. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and thread my snowflake thread through. Notice the holes are pretty close to the circle. That's okay. So I flipped it on the inside, and now I'm just using some glossy accents to hold the string in place. Okay, so I've allowed that to dry, and now I'm going to cover up this piece of paper. I don't like the inside since it's a two-sided paper, so I've slid my little piece of scrap that I've trimmed away, and I've slid it underneath, and now I'm just tracing the circle around. And I'll just hand cut it this time. So now I'm going to go ahead and add my adhesive for my strip. And I'll just replace the paper back in there. Okay, so now I have the inside circle, and I've cut two from my silhouette, like I said, 3 inches on the outside, between 1/4 and 1/2 inch on the inside. So I'm just placing them on the inside. Now I'm adding some glossy accents, and I'm going to run my string back over so it has a fold, and I'm going to allow that glue to dry. So make sure you get it down real good. The tighter the string, the better the snowflake will twist around. You don't want to pull it too tight because then it might pull your paper. So I'm going to give it a little tug and let it dry. Now once the glue's dry, I'm just adding more glossy accents around just to stick the circle down onto the paper. It's starting to come together now. Here we go. Okay, so I have my outside circle. That doesn't have to be as secure, so I'm just going to use my regular tape runner adhesive. And I'm going to line up the two circles. This also gives it extra strength around where it's holding the string. Okay, so now I have a little bow that I've tied with some muslin ribbon, and I'm just going to add a glue dot just at the bottom. And I have some soft pool ink, and I'm just going to stamp my message on the inside. So I'm inking this up. And you're going to kind of eyeball where the circle is, and then just go ahead and stamp it inside. This way it'll show through from the window. And to finish things off, I'm going to add a couple of our new snowflake gemstones. They're really beautiful. So just place them randomly. And there we go. Here's the finished project. Well, thank you for joining me. I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.